This is Robbie Osborne, and my Pecha Kucha discusses rhetorical devices such as theme and diction in Robert Frost's Birches and relates them to similar rhetorical devices in William Shakespeare's Hamlet to show how strong diction and theme can be related in two completely different works. The piece of literature I chose is Birches, written by famous poet Robert Frost. He is famous for his well-crafted poems that relate life experiences in nature to a reader's life through excellent use of rhetorical devices. He has worked hard to make peaceful, relaxing poems of nature and its beauty conveyed through theme and diction. Similarly to Birches, Hamlet is full of great examples of rhetorical devices because it was written by the famous William Shakespeare in the 17th century when dramatic plays were popular. He is famous for his historical plays that are still read today in many literature classes because of this rich content of rhetorical devices. To quickly summarize Birches, Robert Frost depicts a man as he walks through the cold, snowy birch tree forest. When the man looks around at the trees, he sees that they are bending to the ground because of the sheer weight of the snow and ice on the branches from the previous night's snowfall. He begins seeing flashbacks of when he was a child, climbing the trees and bending the branches to the ground, like the snow and ice is. He remembers all the fun he has as a child, all alone, playing in the forest, that he realized that he can be set free at any moment by his imagination. My rhetorical devices that I'll be using are theme and diction. These rhetorical devices are very prevalent in Hamlet and Birches because they were written by famous authors known for their well-written style and expertly plotted stories describing nature and the 17th century drama. Okay, this part is a little outside of the rubric, but I thought it would be a nice touch to add a common theme of isolation to further relate both works. Isolation is a theme of seclusion and privacy for thought and relaxing, but is not the only way the theme of isolation can be represented. Isolation in Birches is a more natural form of isolation, one of complete isolation for reflection. As the man in the poem reflects on his memory, he says, whose only play was what he found himself, summer or winter, and he could play alone. His memories bring back thoughts about a positive consequence of isolation. Frost does a great job of creating isolation in Birches through nature, which helps bring the point across of reflection on life and peacefulness. The purpose of Frost's work is to develop this theme to help the readers relax in the modern era and get away from the crazy, hectic world we live in today. In Hamlet, the theme of isolation is also conveyed really well throughout the work. In the closet scene, Hamlet remains silent in front of Ophelia in order to protect her from hell itself breaking contagion to this world. Hamlet's unique form of isolation is one way Shakespeare creates a powerful theme. Shakespeare bends the ideas of isolation by creating a scene where Hamlet is in front of Ophelia, even though he remains completely mute, which isolates him from her. This clever idea of isolation shows the brilliance of William Shakespeare as he wrote this play. When comparing the two works, both, despite having a common, well-crafted theme of isolation, are different in the way the theme is presented. Frost takes a more relaxing and reflective type of isolation compared to Shakespeare's dramatic and symbolic form of isolation. Diction is another rhetorical device that is heavily used and well conveyed in both Birches and Hamlet. This is a rhetorical device that can be used to enhance the scene in countless different moods. For example, some diction is dark and some diction is joyful. Diction is a key component in Robert Frost's poem in order to create a clean, sharp, and peaceful poem without excess wording. An example is when he is talking about ice. He says, shattering and avalanching, rather than more simple words such as breaking and falling. Diction in Birches is prevalent all over the text as Frost tries to enhance the imagery through better word choices, which builds the calm mood that he was hoping for. He accurately includes descriptive wording, proving he has great diction throughout the text. Hamlet also has a ton of well-written diction that is used to make scenes more elegant. A sample of Shakespeare's elegant diction, "A fellow of infinite jest, of most excellent fancy," shows that he used higher level of language than regular talking to create a mood that fits the scene perfectly. Diction in Hamlet can be described as proper and/or formal. This is simply because of the time period the play was written in, but still has an impact considering Shakespeare is renowned for his incredible writing style. Shakespeare's choice of diction accurately reflects the mood and tone of the play. Although the diction in one work is calm and peaceful, and the other is elegant and proper, they are both well written and meaningful to the mood of the scene. Even though the ideas are not the same in the two works, it is easy to see why diction is important when the author is trying to paint a picture of the book. To conclude this Pecha Kucha, I would like to summarize that the theme and diction of the literary works are two of the most key rhetorical devices in any of the works because they set a great tone and mood that can only be made better by famous authors such as Robert Frost and William Shakespeare. Well, I'm officially finished now, so thank you for listening to my Pecha Kucha comparing the theme of isolation and diction in Robert Frost's Birches and William Shakespeare's timeless classic, Hamlet. My works site is below. Have a great night.